Right, how do we get a good TV picture when we're travelling around all over the show? And if you're like me, you get in some right unusual places. Well, I'm hoping that you will understand this, because I tried with the usual little mushroom thing on the top of the motorhome, and I found it almost useless in certain positions. You got a preamp on it, but it's an omnidirectional aerial, which means that it receives signals from everywhere. And of course, we all know that the strongest signal for a TV is one that comes via an outdoor aerial. But the type that everybody uses indoors is a Yagi. Now, a Yagi is one of these. Right, this is a typical Yagi antenna, and you see these on the top of all houses. And this one is just a simple kit that you can get off of eBay. Now, it's comprises of what they class as elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Class them as 9 elements, although that's a reflector, that's a collector. But irrespective of that, what this does is the same as a torch. And if you can understand it better, I think I'll better show you what I mean. Just a simple demonstration. We've got a little torch here, and the light is spread out in one place. So in other words, if I point it here, you can see you've got an illuminated beam. What you're actually doing is you're transferring all the light that would normally be firing all around the light bulb or the light source, and it's being focused into one position. And this is exactly the way a beam aerial works. So what you want is, there's a little fella there that you might remember through the adverts. So if you want to pick up a transmitting station that's over there, you point your beam to it, and lo and behold, you pick up all the signal. Point it away, you get nothing. Point it to it, you get something. That's the way that they work. So they focus the actual beam itself, the beam of the signal coming towards it, so they only pick up in that direction. Now, by now that's as clear as mud. But anyway, if you will forgive my little interpretation, there is another problem as well. The transmitters transmit TV signals in 2 ways: horizontal and vertical. Now, that's the alignment of the actual antenna itself. So you've got 2 there, and unfortunately, if you have the wrong axis, so for instance, if you had vertical like that and the signal was coming at you horizontal, it would mean that the signal would be really quite attenuated, so you're not picking up a good signal. The next thing that we've got in here, if you can see it, there's a little box there, a little black one, which is an aerial amplifier. It's only small, and nothing fantastic. Let's see if I can illuminate it for you. There it is, just that little tiny box down there. Not this one, that one down there. Only a dinky thing. Now, that's fed with 5 volt that comes through the coax that comes from the TV. And if you turn the TV on, which I'll do in a moment, right, there we go. I've turned the TV on. It's got no signal, obviously the aerial's not connected. But if you go to the menu, you can see up here, can you see that? It says signal information, and below that it's got 5 volt antenna power on. Now, if you select this, it means that 5 volt is transmitted through the coax, which goes along there, comes along this bit of trunking here that I installed, and comes down, and it goes on to the actual amplifier there. And you can see there's a little red light on there. Can you see it? You might just see it, a little red light. Yeah, just about. You see it, and that red light tells you that it's actually on. Oh, I don't know if it's going to see this, but there you go, it's there anyway. There it is. There you go, little red light. So that shows that the power is coming along from the TV to the preamplifier. Now, preamplifier is what's required to boost your signal. So the signal that you're getting will be a bit low, so the preamp actually boosts it so that you can get a picture on your TV set. But that's not all, you see. It gets a little bit more complicated, but things are easy to do. They're not as complicated as you might think. Right, so you download an app. Now this one here is that one there, the green one, if you can see it. It's called Antenna Aligner. Now click on it and it comes up, and hang on a minute, it tells you, it knows where you are because of the GPS on the phone, and it says Bluebell Hill, here's the nearest here, Crystal Palace is 40 miles away, Dover, Ronjo, Sudbury, 40 miles away. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? 40 miles away. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at that, because I'm down a bucket here. I'll show you why. We're on the cliffs here, and you can see that the ground goes up, so we are actually in a hollow. Now Sudbury is in Suffolk, I believe, and it's 80 odd miles over there. I know that, but let's see how this alignment thing works and see if it actually works. So if I pick one of these and I pick Sudbury, there we go, it gives me a direction to point the antenna. So here we go, I've got the antenna and it's got to point in that direction. So now what do? Right, it's not that hard really. There's the van, and what I chose to do was to make things simple, because what I did was I bought this bit of kit from eBay, and if you have a look, there's two clips up there on the side of the van. That's where the aerial pole goes. But hang on a minute, that's getting up a little bit. I can't reach that, can I? But the way I've done it is simple. I stand in the door, so if it's pouring with rain, it doesn't make life hard at all. So I'll show you how it clips on. Right, now just to give you an idea, I've got my aerial and it's arranged in horizontal, which is the most popular one, and I've got a little bit of coaxial cable that comes down to an F connector, which is one of those. It's not the standard one that goes in the back of the telly, more waterproof, and it's a better connector, and it's just hanging down loose like that. I've got some duct tape along here which helps, and now I've got to get it on to there, but you see the door opens up and I stand on there, lean outside the door and click it on, and it takes all of about 20 seconds. Now I'm going to show you how to do that. Very hard holding the camera and doing this at the same time, but let's see if we can do it. There we go, forgive the messing around. So all I do is hold that up like that, and I go one-handed. This is 1, 2. So there's 2, and then I just pop this open and I screw the F connector into that little adapter. Now that comes inside the van in the back of the wardrobe, so that keeps everything waterproof. And there, as you can see, I can turn the beam round. So if I turn it to the direction that it was, lo and behold, I've got TV. Oh my goodness, it's my favourite, it's planes. Right, now bear in mind that we're 80 miles away from this transmitter. I've got a signal quality of 100 and the signal strength is 41, which gives me a perfect picture. No problems at all with that. As you can see, excellent picture. So I'm well pleased, to say the least. That's the signal information. So to reiterate, power is on the antenna. So that's the preamp that's supplied with that. So we're doing quite doing quite well here. So there you go. So now I've got my picture and I'm all right and set up for the evening. Now that's coming from 80 miles away. Just to reiterate, removal of the aerial is very simple as well. As you see, it just pushed in. Don't have to do anything up, it's nice and easy, it's spring loaded. So all I do is undo the connector there, close the flap and just grab hold of the pole and pull it out. Nice and simple. No wind will move it, and it's perfectly acceptable. And you can either store it in the wardrobe or find somewhere out of the way. Nice and simple, but it's guaranteed this to give you a decent picture, or at least as good as anything you'll get indoors. So there you have it, how to get a decent aerial signal when you're located quite some distance away from a transmitter. Use a proper aerial.